Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Big Fish Lad, and today I'm going to walk you through a water change on my pike tank. So what I do is, obviously you know I've said before that I have a problem with algae, so I'm going to take you through each stage of what I do, what I use, and then what conditions I use and everything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by scraping the algae off on the back of the tank because it's awful. If I don't keep on top of it, it gets dreadful. I'm okay with it usually at the back of the tank, but anyway, let me show you. So this is the pike tank, as you know, and if you look, let me say it closely, you can see, I hope you can see anyway, you see there's lots of bubbles that are blocking the view because I have the spray bar so high, but there is algae on the back of there. You can just see it in the view, and then it grows on the actual filter as well. You can see it in the filter. So what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm just going to get the scraper out and I'm going to scrape that off. So let's do this. So guys, what I use to scrape the algae off is this contraption. So it has like a blade, so it's got the blade across there, which is not sharp, but it's good enough to do the algae. It doesn't scratch the glass. It's like two pieces, so you can shorten it whatever you want. But what I do is I keep it, obviously that length, because it obviously helps me. It helps me with the length of the tank, which is 2 foot. So let's get scraping the algae off. So it's just a case of, it's a bit noisy guys, but you've just got to get in on it and get it off. And like I say, if I don't keep on top of it, it just gets out of hand. And like I don't think on this video it actually captures just the amount that's on it, and I think the black background doesn't help with that as well. So what we'll do, guys, we will continue to scrape this off. I won't bore you too much with how much I'm doing, and I'll bring you back when the algae's done and show you the next steps. Right guys, so what I've done is I've stopped the actual filters so the motor's not moving, and can you see the algae? And it's not just algae that I can take off with a sponge, I actually have to scrape it. So as you can see, there's loads of it, and it can get a lot worse than that, but what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to scrape it off and then I'll get back to you. Okay guys, so we've took all the algae, well, probably 99% of the algae off the back. So we come around the side, you can see most of it's gone. And then what I do now for the front and the sides is I use one of these JBL floaty magnets. Now, they're okay, but if you're not careful, you can drag sand up your tank and scratch them. So I have got a couple of scratches, so I would obviously, if you use these guys, be careful when using them. But what I do basically is I just run it over the glass. It's really easy, you know, and then I do that. So just get it cleaned off, and if you pull off, it floats to the top, which is really good. So good magnets in that sense. So I'll get all the algae cleaned off and I'll show you the next stage, guys. Okay guys, so the glass is clean now on the front and sides, and all that's left to do is to get the algae off the actual filter. As you can see, there's algae on the filter, but again, that's easy to come off. So what I do is I just use this sponge, and it's like a sponge on it's got like a plant thing on the side, but I just use this sponge, and that then will clean off this algae. So if you can see the algae, and it's just a case of it wipes off, if you look, and then that's all I do for that. And like I say, you never really get it all off. You know, I'd have to probably get a Brillo pad on that to get it off. But like I say, I'm not really bothered about having some on. Let's use the other side. I'm not bothered about having some on it, you know, because it is actually good for the water. And if you look, that's looking a lot better than it was before. And then all I'm going to do with this actual outlet pipe is just clean that in the water, because obviously when I do the water change I can get the little bits of algae off it. So again, just clean that, and then that's clean, look. So yeah, all the algae's done now, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I use to siphon the water out. Right guys, so the next step for me is to use this. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm using this draining the water out. So it basically comes over a tube here. It goes out of that tube and then out down the sink. So what is important to do, guys, when you're doing these water changes is, and I'm doing one-handed, guys, so I apologise, is to get the bits, just hover it over the sand like so. Get all the crap off the bottom, and then what I tend to do is when I've moved the crap from them areas, because it does suck it out, you know, see these bits of rubbish here, they're straight coming out, the sand doesn't go with it. And then what I do is, because I'm hovering it over just for a bit like that, once them bits have gone up through the tube, I then sort of like give the sand, and then what I'll do with the sand is just give the sand a bit of a clean, because it's imperative that you keep these clean, especially in the tank like pikes, because they love their water to be clean, and if the crap goes under the sand, then that's not good, because then it'll hold all the crap, and that's when your nitrates will rise and stuff. And like I say, I have got a resin in here, but I need to keep it as clean as I possibly can. So I'm going to do that now and the whole tank, guys, and I will bring you back when I've done that. Okay, so what I've done there is I've just basically took as much like bits of crap up off the bottom as I can. I've disturbed the sand by just going into a layer. What I'm not doing is putting the sand back into the gaps, because they've dug that out, so there's no point in me doing that. And I've sort of like, the sand's a lot cleaner, the algae that was on the sand will have gone up it, and now what I do is I just leave that to empty, and probably going to get rid of about, I'd say 30%. Look, it's looking so much cleaner, but like I said, guys, I will never always move the algae, and I have to do that probably every 2 to 3 days. But yeah, so we're gonna let it 30% empty, and then I'll come back to you and show you the next step, guys. So guys, the water's still coming out. The pikes are okay, they're not too bad. They're a little bit wary, you know. In fact, you think about it, I'm invading their tank, but they seem fine and they're doing well. And like I say, they'll prosper from having a clean tank. I do turn these filters off because obviously the motor's quite high in that, and it's quite high in that, so they will start. You don't really want to be running the motors when they're not when there's no water in them. Well, I don't anyway. So yeah, but yeah, it's emptying out, guys. It will take me a bit, so I will come back to you. I won't bore you with any more of this. So guys, what I'm doing now is I'm filling it back up, as you can see, and I tend to try and keep the water temperature the same as what the temperature is in the tank. Now, I don't have anything that goes into my hot water from my boiler or anything, so I can just touch the hot water up to get that right temperature. So yeah, and what we do now, guys, is we have to put our water conditioner in. I always put the water and conditioning in at this point, so I'm going to do that now, guys, so I'll show you. Okay, so my choice of water conditioner, you'll have seen videos I've done before, is Seacom Safe. It's perfect for my water, that's why I use it. I don't need to use the prime because my water's really soft. And all I do, guys, is I just get this tub, I use the tank water, and I use just under half of that scoop. And I put that in that water like that. The dosage of this is brilliant. It's not, you don't need a lot of this at all. And then all I do is I get this tub and I add it to the water as the water's filling back up. And that's all I do, just like that. You can actually add the conditioner straight to the tank, but I just like to put it in a bit of a tub of water just to, so I don't know, it's just something that's in my mind, that. But yeah, what I'll do now is I'll fill this tank back up, and I'll take it up to just the water level, and then I will then switch my filters back on, and then I'll show you what I do after that. And The bit after that is obviously the last part of what I do when I'm maintaining my tank. So be back in a mo. Okay guys, so now I've filled the water back up, and as you can see, it's quite messy because we've disturbed the sand, we've cleaned the algae off, and that just needs to settle. But there's just one more thing that I need to do, and what it is clean the glass. And what I use, my choice is this mop and blade. Comes in handy because I used to be a window cleaner a very long time ago, and all I do is take the mop first, and then I just clean the glass with it like so, and then I'll do the outside as well, and it's just a case of that. Okay guys, and then what I do now is get the blade. This is the blade, drag the blade across like that once, and you get the gist, and then another time like so, and it just makes cleaning the glass so much easier. And then what I do then is I use a bit of kitchen roll, clean the edge like so, and then the bottom edge, and then I just check if there's any lines because the blade's a bit old, and just give that a wipe like so. And then what happens then is that glass is clean. I'll do the outsides in a minute, and then what we'll do guys is I'll let the tank settle, and I'll come back and show you when it's all settled and looking right. Yes guys, so we are now around about 5 or 6 hours later from when I did the water change, and I want to show you just how clean it looks and how nice it's come up, but there is still algae there guys. So like I said before, you know, I don't always get rid of it, but tank's looking great again, and the pikes are prospering from that, which is why it's important that we do these water changes. So I'm just going to show you now guys. So as you can see, it's really clear, but if you look at the back, you can see the back is still algae on the back. And I scraped and scraped and scraped, but it is looking so much cleaner. If we look from the side, you can see right through. It's really clear. So yeah, it's really important that we keep our water like that guys, you know, and like I say, the fish will then prosper from having really, really healthy clean water, and your parameters will be really good. So yeah, that's how I do my water changes guys. It's just my opinion and the way I do them. Not everybody will do them the same, but that's how I do them guys. So guys, thank you for watching. As always guys, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, watching the videos, liking the videos. It just gives me a reason to do more, and I really enjoy doing them like I've said before. If you're not subscribed guys and you've come this long into the video, do me a favour, press the subscribe and ping the bell. And anyway, it's been long enough. I've gone way over my allotted time, but I just wanted to take you through my water change with me, and just something a little bit different for me, which is something that I don't usually do, but I've really enjoyed doing it. So anyway guys, we're going to call it a day, and I'll see you on the next video.